This video, it's a demonstration of hot dry air exacerbating, which means making things worse, the flammability of vegetation, and dramatically increasing the risk of a fire starting and propagating out of control. I'm going to do this experiment outside, and as you can see, we still have some snow and wet ground here from snow and ice storm we had about almost a week ago, I guess. But anyway, in this part of the upstate of South Carolina, Pickens County, we have to, if we're going to do any outdoor burning, which I'm going to do, we're supposed to call a number to see whether or not it's okay to burn. They usually base that on how dry the air is, the relative humidity, and the wind. So we're going to go ahead and call that number. I've just got this in my contacts as burn fire, but put on speaker.
This is the Forestry Commission line for general debris burning notification in Pickens County. General debris burning includes all outdoor burning, except fires for forestry, wildlife, and agriculture. If you want to report a fire emergency, or if your burn is specifically for forestry, wildlife, or agriculture, please hang up and dial 1-800-777-FIRE. That's 1-800-777-3473. Only vegetative debris can be burned, unless you obtain prior approval from the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. You must also comply with other state air quality regulations, as well as all county or local outdoor burning ordinances. To make your general debris burn notification, press 1 now. If you are calling from a rotary phone, this notification is valid for today only. It is not valid inside corporate limits of any town or city. Fire danger today is moderate. Outdoor burning should be conducted with caution. If you're going to burn, the state precautions law requires you make this notification. It also requires that you have an adequate fire break around the burning site. That adequate means of keeping the fire under control and that you stay with the fire until it is completely safe. To complete your notification, please give your name, telephone number, and location of the burn at the sound of the tone. Even though the burn permit people are recording, was the person that recorded it, said that fire conditions were moderate here. We've done a lot of burning of wood and so forth out in our pastures, and I've learned to always have something nearby to extinguish it if possible. So I got this garden hose here to thoroughly douse this, and I've had it sitting here all along just in case somehow it got away from us. But anyway, just wanted to point that out. It's always good to take precautions and be careful if you do anything. I would not try this experiment in Southern California right now. Okay, here's the experiment. Got 2 heaters. This thing I run fan only, so it's just blowing ambient air temperature. And this one I'm going to put on the maximum heat this thing will put out. And I'm going to give them maybe 15 minutes of running, and we'll check to see what the temperature and humidity is in each airstream. We'll just let them run for at least 15 minutes. Now I'll try to ignite both sides with this MAP gas torch, see if I can see a difference in how they ignite and burn. So we'll give it a try. See that blowing around. Fan only here, no heat. I'm going to put on the heat here. Okay, it's definitely blowing out hot air. This is just ambient air. We'll set this for a minute in that airstream and see what it does. This is reading 60%, 60 degrees F, 35% RH. (91 degrees F, 27% RH). See, as the temperature goes up, the percent humidity, relative humidity, goes down. Same amount of moisture. It's just it's easier for water vapor to stay in gaseous form when the temperature is hotter than it is when it's cooler. So that's always that way. If you notice in the morning, your temperature and humidity, as the temperature goes up during the day, the humidity will tend to drop. And then humidity comes back up as in the evening as the temperature goes back down. Same thing we're seeing here. I had to experiment a little bit trying to get the temperature and humidity good.
I decided to go with a little more elevated temperature than you'd normally see, say, in a Santa Ana wind in Southern California. But we're only going to let it be exposed for about 15-20 minutes. So we'll give it a try, see what we got. It's been almost 18 minutes. We're going to put this back here and see what the temperature is there, where it's been heating up. Okay, it's been almost 20 minutes. The heater side is at 105 degrees F, 16% RH. Okay, I'm going to turn both fans off. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is take this torch, just try to catch the grass on fire. Oh. Man, no problem at all there. That caught on fire too, but this one, definitely. Let's try that again. I'll start in the middle. That's the hot, dry side. You'll notice on this side, where the humidity was higher, green stuff's not burning. Where the humidity was low, over here, the green and the brown burn. We're going to try a different experiment now. It's a little piece of a cedar tree branch. Got some right over there. Here's one here. Now, I don't have this fan on at all. It's not on cold, not on hot. So this is sitting there, no wind blowing. That's got the heater air blowing on it. I cut those two pieces of little cedar branches off this cedar tree right here. Ones that were down low, and they're about the same size, right next to each other. So it should be very similar in the moisture content. I picked some green grass from out there in the middle of the yard and put some of it here and some of it there. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes. This cedar branch and this grass are just sitting here. This has not been turned on at all, no air at all. I'm gonna get my instrument out of the way so it won't burn up. I'm gonna leave that on to simulate the difference between just static brush at ambient conditions versus something like a Santa Ana wind blowing on it. Notice the green grass is also trying to burn. Some of it has burned. Now we're going to ignite just static conditions, no Santa Ana wind on it. Look at that. Can't get it to burn. Can't get it to burn. This stuff over here, it's like it's got gasoline on it in comparison. Let's try the grass. Grass apparently has enough moisture in it still, it's not burning. This cedar branch here, even with a gas flame on it, it won't maintain ignition. That, with that hot, dry air blowing on it. About, I don't know, 10 to 15 years ago, the Southeast, maybe a little less than 10, had a major drought going on. We had a fire at Pinnacle Mountain near Table Rock State Park, maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 miles from here. The smoke was so thick here we could hardly breathe. We thought we were going to have to evacuate just from smoke. There was wildfires everywhere, all over upstate western South Carolina, western North Carolina, the mountains of Georgia near my brother's house. He had ashes coming down on his house from a drought. And at the same time period, the Wall Street Journal said there was about 23 nuclear plants in the Southeast that were borderline being shut down because they all used surface water to cool their steam, condense it. And there wasn't enough water. No, what water was there was too hot. I asked a neighbor who worked for the Oconee nuclear plant here, run by Duke Energy. He said, oh yeah, he said, we're having meetings every day. We're real close to having to shut it down. Now think about that. If this whole area lost its water, we all depend on Lake Kiowee for water. It feeds Greenville, South Carolina, and all these surrounding communities. It cools the reactors at the Oconee nuclear plant. Water from Lake Jocassee feeds into it, into Lake Kiowee, then from Kiowee into Hartwell. And they will sacrifice the water in Jocassee and Hartwell to maintain the water level in Kiowee for the nuclear plant. It was borderline shutting down the county. Can you imagine if we got it where there's no water and no power anywhere around? We actually came pretty close. So don't get too smug because you think you're safe not living in Southern California. I mean, it can get bad anywhere, not to mention what would happen if the reverse happened and those lakes got a 20-inch rainfall in one day like some areas get. Probably wipe out every one of those dams. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like the video and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.